Hey, it's Jack, Jack in the Attic. My goth knitting videos get a lot of comments along the lines of, I'm not goth, but my child slash grandchild slash friend slash sibling is. And this video is for those commenters. Gift knits. We know them, we love them, we overcommit to them and grow to resent them. That bird knows what I'm talking about. There's a reason I'm posting this in July. This is a compilation of quick accessory knits, including hats, cowls, fingerless mitts, scarves, and more. Nothing on this list will require knowing measurements or very specific sizing information. As with any gift knit, proceed with caution, because some of these knits are very specific and could be pretty hit or miss depending on the recipient. Every video in this series comes with a caveat. There is no specific way to dress goth. Goth subculture and gothic fashion obviously have overlap, but they're not the same thing, and I will make no attempt to conflate them in this video. This is simply a fun little bit of inspiration for you if you want to knit gifts for the alternative fashion lovers in your life, or even if you want to treat yourself to a new accessory. We're all on the same page? We're all on the same page. Let's get into the patterns, which will all be linked in order in the description. If you've watched my other videos, you may see a couple of patterns that I have featured before, but it feels worthwhile to me to have all these accessories in one video. There will be plenty of new patterns as well. Starting with hats, I'm a little biased because I love a beret, so here are two spiderweb themed knit berets. First is the Along Came a Spider hat, which is knit from less than a single skein of Aran or worsted weight yarn, so you know it works up very quickly. This is knit in one color and achieves the spiderweb design through texture alone. I love that this is a little bit subtle, but still very cool. Next up is the Ryodan Beret, which is a colorwork spiderweb beret. This is worked with the main color and vertical lines, and then the horizontal lines are added after completing the body of the hat. The pattern calls for DK yarn, so it's a little more lightweight and could easily be worn through the spring and fall as well. I talk about this hat all the time. It's the Elevated Cat or Devil hat. I've knit two of these, one for me and one for a friend. I still want another. This is so quick to work up at an Aran gauge. I knit my first one entirely in the car during my last yarn crawl. I think mine looks a little bit like bat ears instead of cat ears. I've noticed while looking at everyone's project photos, the ears all look a little bit different based on your tension and yarn choice, and I think that's one of my favorite things about this pattern. Up next is the Totoro hat. Maybe this is just my perception, but I feel like Studio Ghibli and alt folks are like this. Also, as a side note, I grew up pronouncing it Ghibli, and I'm struggling to change that. It still doesn't feel right. Anyway, knit in black, this hat also kind of looks like bat ears. Maybe the ear hat trend has calmed down a little bit, but I won't let it die. This hat is knit in bulky weight yarn and looks like it works up super quick. It also has ear flaps for the super cold winter days. This next hat has been on my radar for years. I really need to make it someday. It's the Ghost with the Most hat. I love Beetlejuice, but more importantly, I love vertical stripes. This is knit bottom up in a corrugated rib pattern, so it should be pretty easy to memorize as you go. I'm not including socks in this video for sizing reasons, but this hat does have a pair of matching socks that I love. I've shared this pattern before, but it's so good and it needs to be on this list, the Athame hood. We have a couple of hoods. They're kind of in the hat section, kind of in their own section. This hood is knit with an attached brioche infinity scarf and a dagger design on the side. I just think it looks so cool. And it seems like a good way to try out some new techniques in a smaller project without committing to a full garment. We also have the Ruffled Hood, which is what it sounds like, and I love it. It's a hood with a ruffle around the neck and a decorative but functional ribbon detail to tie in the front. This is knit in DK yarn, and both sizes use under 400 yards of yarn, so I bet this works out pretty quick as well. This one doesn't have its own category, but it's too cute to not include. It's the Wings Scrunchie. It's pretty self-explanatory, but what a perfect way to use up a small amount of yarn. This only calls for 40 to 50 yards of DK weight yarn. Moving on to Fingerless mitts, starting with the Arachne Mitts. These are a fantastic standalone piece, but imagine them as a set with the Along Came a Spider hat. Incredible. These mitts also use texture alone to create a very detailed spider design. I think the photos really speak for themselves. There is also a matching pullover by the same designer, which is not included in this list for obvious reasons, but it's also fantastic. Next up, the Wool of Bat mitts. I love these so much. I have a specific yarn set aside for them, but I still haven't knit them. This is the perfect little fingerless mitt with a simple lace detail and a cute flared cuff inspired by the shape of bat wings. Maybe this is my emo era talking, but I've never gotten over striped arm warmers. The Salem fingerless mittens are a beautifully elevated version of the arm warmers of my angsty past, with a delicate little picot edge that I love. I especially love the black and dark gray striped example piece. We also have the ruffled cuffs / wrist warmers. This particular designer will be showing up multiple times in this video. Definitely go check out their entire pattern collection. It's absolutely worth it. These ruffled wrist warmers are so cute, and I'm always looking for ways to cover my Garmin watch. I love the date, I hate the look. This isn't about me. Ruffled cuff, decorative eyelets, knit in DK weight, super quick, super cute, you get it. The last pattern in this section is actually a combo pattern for a cabled cowl and arm warmers. I love a matching set, and I love the texture of these pieces. I specifically love when fingerless mitts cover the entire palm and even part of the fingers. It looks cozy, it looks cute. And for a cabled pattern, these pieces look fairly lightweight, not dense, and easy to scrunch. That pattern is a perfect way to transition into the cowl section, and Alexa is at it again with another great accessory, the Lacy collar and cowl. This pattern is also a 2-in-1, a small cobweb collar and a long tubular cowl. This is knit on 8mm needles with lots of dropped stitches, so I imagine it works up very quickly. The airy webby texture is so cool. A section within the cowl section is the colorwork cowl section. We have several. Starting with the Skull Fair Isle cowl, which is, as you probably guessed, knit in Fair Isle stranded colorwork. This has a cute little skull pattern with ribbing at the top and bottom. The next colorwork cowl is also by Jen Immer. It's the Hellcat Cowl. The design is like a cat skull using 3 contrasting colors knit in worsted weight. There's a lot of detail, but the pattern repeats, so it shouldn't be the most complicated colorwork. My favorite of Jen Immer's colorwork cowls is the Nightling Cowl, obviously. Look at it. I love a bat, as we know. A bat skeleton, moons. I'm obsessed. This one is knit in DK weight, so it's a little lighter than the last 2. Our next cowl is the Cemetery Drive cowl. This is a perfect little graveyard scene with headstones, ghosts, and spooky trees. This one is knit in fingering weight yarn, stranded colorwork, bottom up, in the round. The description specifically states that matching the exact gauge isn't necessary, so you can adjust the size a little bit as desired. The last colorwork cowl on this list is the Gothic Garden Cowl. The description is perfect. Floating ghosties in a flower garden are perfect for those chilly autumn nights. Couldn't agree more. This one is knit with 2 skeins of DK yarn, specifically 1 solid and 1 tonal or variegated. Our last category is shawls and scarves broadly. Leave it to alternative knitters to not fit neatly into categories. Not sure what I expected. Our first shawl is kind of a showstopper, the Dragon Wings shawl. This airy shawl has quite a dramatic shape, decorative eyelets, and can be knit at any size depending on the number of cast-on stitches. Because this is knit side to side instead of top to bottom, you won't have any of those super long rows that feel endless. One of my favorite patterns from my last goth knitting video was the Widow's Web shawl. This shawl is airy, dramatic, and has lots of long fringe, but it's still simple enough to style multiple ways. There was absolutely no way I could leave it out of this compilation. If you like this one, there's also a scarf version of this pattern that you should definitely check out. Our next scarf is the Ghost in the Graveyard scarf. This double knit scarf is decorated with classic spooky graveyard designs, obviously perfect for the Halloween season, but even better for the Halloween year-round type of person, like me, maybe like you. This same designer has also brought us the Going Batty scarf, which is another double knit scarf but with a repeating tiny bat design. Because these are double knit, they're both reversible. Our last scarf and our last pattern for today is the Ruffle Scarf. This is made to match the ruffle cuffs from earlier and would make a perfect gift set for maybe a Victorian goth or anyone who appreciates a simple piece with great volume and texture. This is knit with super bulky yarn, so knitting the whole set would be very quick. So that's the list. It is pretty limited. I'm sure I missed plenty of patterns that would fit this theme just for time reasons. So feel free to share those in the comments. Also, please let me know if you've knit any of these. Let me know what you think. Do you have any favorites from the list? Anything you saw and thought that would be perfect for my goth niece slash coworker slash mailman slash self? Hopefully this helps remove some of the pressure from you this gifting season. If you need encouragement to start early, consider this video that push to start early. That is all I have for you today. Be sure to rest, stretch, take care of your crafting hands, but go and live your best yarny life, and I will see you next time. Bye. Tee-hee. I've been wearing pajama pants this whole time.